Formula One is a cutthroat business, and drivers only get a limited window to prove themselves. Getting dropped by a team, especially a top one, is usually seen as the end of their career, and in many cases that's kind of true. But every now and then, some determined drivers prove everyone wrong. So today, we're going to take a look at a few drivers who were let go by their teams, but came back stronger and made those teams regret their decision. Starting with the driver who might make a second comeback soon after retiring, and that driver is Sergio Perez. Now, I know people are still critical of Checo because of his last couple of years at Red Bull, but there's so much more to his career. Checo drove for Sauber in his first 2 years of Formula One and delivered some exceptional performances, scoring 3 podiums and coming very close to his maiden F1 win. McLaren were impressed by the Mexican's form and progression and signed him for 2013 to replace the departing Lewis Hamilton and partner Jenson Button. McLaren had finished third in the Constructors' Championship in 2012 and were regular podium contenders, but their development was heading in the wrong direction. The 2013 McLaren car was very challenging and lacked the performance to fight at the front. They went from being title contenders to a midfield team. In his first year at McLaren, Checo struggled a bit to get to grips with the car. He finished the season 11th, 24 points behind Button in 9th. Neither driver managed to score a single podium, so it was quite clear that the issue lay more with the car than the drivers. Towards the end of the season, McLaren announced they would part ways with Checo, citing a mix of what they called underwhelming performances and internal team politics. They promoted their junior driver Kevin Magnussen for 2014, a move that didn't pan out as expected. Checo then joined Force India on a multi-year contract and found plenty of success there, scoring multiple podiums for a team that consistently punched above its weight. He became one of the most consistently quick and dependable midfield drivers during his years with the team. Then in 2020, Checo clinched his first F1 victory in dramatic fashion, a win that earned him a top seat at Red Bull in 2021, where he went on to claim more wins and podiums. Now, he didn't win a championship at Red Bull, but let's not forget his teammate was Max. I think Checo's story is one of the most fascinating ones. After being judged harshly at McLaren, he proved them wrong and went on to have what I'd call a very successful and long career in F1. Then we have the legend of Kimi Räikkönen. After winning the world title for Ferrari in 2007, the next couple of years were a bit inconsistent for Kimi. In 2008, he finished third behind his teammate Felipe Massa, and 2009 turned out to be a real struggle. Even though Kimi had a contract with Ferrari for 2010, both parties mutually decided to end the relationship early. Ferrari were quite keen on signing Fernando Alonso at the time, and to be fair, you can't really blame them. There were rumors of Kimi joining other teams, but none materialized. After a 2-year break, Kimi returned to F1 with the newly branded Lotus team and finished third in the championship. He took 1 win and scored 6 other podiums, making jaws drop all across the paddock and proving that he was still seriously quick. Here's an interesting detail though. Since Lotus couldn't afford to pay Kimi a large base salary, they offered him big bonuses per point scored. Rumor has it the bonus was around $50,000 per point. In 2012, Kimi scored 207 points, and in 2013 he added another 183, taking the total bonus amount into the tens of millions. Lotus hadn't expected such incredible performances, and unfortunately, they couldn't manage to pay him the full amount due to financial trouble. So to this day, it's unclear exactly how much Kimi was actually paid. After his 2-year stint at Lotus, Kimi rejoined Ferrari and drove for them for 5 seasons before ending his career with a final 3-year run at Sauber. And while he didn't win another title, his comeback was undeniably impressive. And to this day, Kimi remains the last driver to win a world championship for Ferrari. Next up, we have Pierre Gasly. Gasly is a bit of a unique case. He made his full-time debut in 2018 with Toro Rosso, and while it wasn't the greatest rookie season, he comfortably outperformed his fellow rookie Brendan Hartley. Now, I'm not sure whether to call it Gasly's good luck or bad luck, but when Daniel Ricciardo decided to leave Red Bull for Renault, it opened up a seat at the senior team. Gasly's rookie performances were enough to impress Red Bull and earn him a promotion. However, things didn't work out for him at Red Bull. While Max Verstappen was winning races and scoring podiums, Gasly was struggling to even finish in the points. He didn't look like a driver in a front-running car. To his defense, the Red Bull was notoriously difficult to drive and didn't suit his style initially, though he seemed to be improving race by race. Still, the slow pace of progress and some alleged disagreements with the engineering team led to Red Bull demoting him back to the junior team after just 12 races. That kind of demotion is never easy for a driver, but Gasly was determined and had something to prove. In the penultimate round of the season in Brazil, he scored a magnificent second-place podium with Toro Rosso. And he wasn't done there. In 2020, he claimed his maiden F1 win at Monza in a spectacular fashion, again with the junior team. In both 2020 and 2021, he was arguably the best of the midfield, often outperforming the car underneath him. It's a shame he didn't get the second chance at Red Bull he so desperately wanted, but he was signed by Alpine, where he once again established himself as the lead driver and delivered some exceptional podiums. Now, the next driver is one some people might disagree with me for including in this list, as he's one of the oldest drivers on the grid and is yet to score his maiden podium in F1. That driver is Nico Hülkenberg, and he's made a couple of comebacks, to be honest. Nico's comeback story is both eye-opening and, frankly, a little heartbreaking. He's kind of like Alonso when it comes to signing contracts. Throughout his career, Nico made some team moves that didn't work out due to poor timing. After being dropped by Williams following his rookie season, he spent a year on the sidelines. He was then picked up by Force India, where he performed brilliantly. But then came the poorly timed switch to Sauber, only to return to Force India a year later. Things started going well again, as he was delivering strong results and was pretty evenly matched with Perez. But after 3 years, he made another move, this time to Renault. The timing, once again, wasn't ideal. He missed out on a golden opportunity to join Mercedes when Rosberg retired at the end of 2016, having already signed with Renault. After 3 seasons with Renault, the team decided to drop him, feeling that his performances didn't quite measure up to teammate Daniel Ricciardo. That left him without a seat, and suddenly, a once highly rated driver was struggling to find a place on the grid. He also missed out on a Red Bull seat for 2021, with Perez snatching the contract thanks to his brilliant 2020 season. At that point, it seemed like Nico's F1 career was done for good. But then after spending 2 years on the sidelines, he made a comeback with Haas in 2023, replacing the underperforming and crash-prone Mick Schumacher. Nico made an immediate impact, becoming the team's lead point scorer over the 2 seasons he drove for them. He was consistently brilliant in qualifying and showed solid race pace. Thanks to his strong performances at Haas, Audi signed him on a multi-year contract. While that may seem like a downgrade now, given that Sauber is currently the slowest car on the grid, things could look very different when the team officially becomes the Audi Works outfit in 2026. Then we have one of the most recognizable names in Formula One, Sir Jack Brabham. Jack made his proper F1 debut in 1958 with the Cooper team. Cooper was one of the top teams at the time, having revolutionized the sport with their rear-engined F1 cars. With his immense talent and a fast car underneath him, Jack won 2 world titles with Cooper in 1959 and 1960. Despite this success, it was Jack's dream to have his own team and greater independence. Jack wasn't just a driver. He was mechanically skilled and deeply interested in car design. He wanted more influence over the engineering direction, but Cooper wasn't receptive to his input. So in 1961, he left Cooper. After his time with Cooper, Brabham founded his own team with engineer Ron Toranak. The team was originally called Motor Racing Developments, but competed in F1 under the name Brabham. They first entered Formula One as a constructor in 1962. After Brabham's departure, Cooper declined rapidly, while other teams like Lotus and Ferrari surged ahead in innovation and performance. The start for the Brabham team was a bit rough, but in 1966 Jack achieved something no other driver has done. He won the Formula One World Championship driving a car that bore his own name, the Brabham BT19. I mean, World Championships don't get more personal than that. He nearly repeated the feat in 1967, finishing second and missing the title by just 5 points. Do you realize how crazy that sounds today? Winning a championship in a car you designed and built yourself? Here was a bloke from Australia winning in Europe, in a car he helped create. No doubt he is regarded as the greatest Australian driver of all time. Jack remains the only driver to win the F1 championship with a car from his own team. He was truly multi-talented, both a brilliant racer and an innovative car designer. Then we have the equally incredible story of Jochen Rindt. Jochen began his F1 career in 1965 with the Cooper team and immediately impressed everyone. In just his second season, he finished third in the championship standings. However, the once great Cooper team started to decline, and Jochen decided to move to Brabham. Unfortunately, his debut season with them in 1968 was plagued by reliability issues as he suffered 10 retirements in just 12 races. The Brabham team was still being run by Jack Brabham, who was also racing at the time. Jochen felt the team naturally prioritized Jack's own title ambitions, which led him to switch teams again. In 1969, he joined Lotus and immediately clicked with the car, scoring his maiden F1 win and finishing 4th in the championship. Then came 1970, a breakthrough year. Jochen won 4 of the first 8 races and built a commanding lead in the championship. But tragedy struck during the 10th round at Monza. During a practice session, Jochen's car crashed into the barriers, and he suffered fatal injuries. He passed away on the way to the hospital, and the racing world lost one of its brightest talents that day. In the final 4 races of the season, no driver could surpass the lead Jochen had built. At the end of the year, he was posthumously crowned the 1970 world champion. Jochen's life and career were cut short, but the legacy he left behind was immense. Watch any of his races and you'll understand he was truly one of the very best. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I might have missed a few drivers since the video was getting a bit too long, so sorry about that. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.